one middle, we have one guy there, two on the thing, right? He gives strength to this side. Yeah.
I think
Okay.
let's not make it complicated for ourselves.
Fine.
Because we have this man here and
Yeah. This becomes the this in theory just become this one. That's the risk. That's the risk, yeah? That's the risk.
Hare कमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं जातं सहगना जगन्नाथान्वितं त्वं सजीवम् शान्तितं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवम् श्रीराधा कृष्णपदां साधना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृन्द श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृन्द श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृन्द Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare All right. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Come from that way. Come from reception.
So that connects here. You need? No, I'm just saying so
These are long, we just play the track, they're not gonna
Nah, yeah, there should be a connection there.
Yeah, you might go here. Yeah, they do every year.
I think so. No, they leave it there. Where is the connection there?
Do you guys want anything?
Yeah, a little bit. No, you there? Nah, it's okay, boss. Or is it going to disconnect from the laptop?
Yeah, we're just going to get to the room.
It's safe, yeah?
I do it.
I know. Oh ya usa. ¿Qué man? The back there.
Nah, akan ada sana. Full.
Yeah, but it connects with that hole. It connects with the reception hole. Yeah. But look at the connection.
There, akan bagaimana pada?
Sure, making the heart. Yeah, you can. Come on, use that.
Before we need to put those ones away.
See, and it connects together. Apa mana tiga itu sih? Take it. There's nothing there. I took it out. Yeah, we are not offending. Let's just leave it first.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana Sodanandana Yamunatira Vanachari Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana Sodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Natira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Dava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Jnana Tirmiyandasya Gananjana Salakaya Chakshurun Militanyena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutaye Swayam Rupa Kadadmayam Tadatisva Padantikam Vandiham Shri Guru Shri Uttapada Kamalan Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatim Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Sam Tam Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Savdhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Visakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sutadevi Pranamami Haripre Vancha Kalpa Tarubhascha Kripa Sindhu Bhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivedanta. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So then, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And before I begin speaking, I'd like to request the blessings of all the assembled and devotees and those who are also watching online. So, thank you. So today we're reading from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, text 15. So, Yunjan evam sadatmanam yogi niyata manasa santim nirvana paramam mat samstam adhigacchati. Yunjan evam sadatmanam yogi niyata manasa santim nirvana paramam mat samstam adhigacchati. Yunjan evam sadatmanam yogi niyata manasa santim nirvana paramam mat samstam adhigacchati. Yunjan evam sadatmanam yogi niyata manasa santim nirvana paramam mat samstam adhigacchati. So, thus practicing constant control of the body, mind and activities, the mystic transcendentalist, his mind regulated, attains to the kingdom of God, or the abode of Krishna, by cessation of material existence. And one more time. Thus practicing constant control of the body, mind and activities, the mystic transcendentalist, his mind regulated, attains to the kingdom of God, or the abode of Krishna, by cessation of material existence. The ultimate goal in practicing yoga is now clearly explained. Yoga practice is not meant for attaining any kind of material facility. It is to enable the cessation of all material existence. One who seeks an improvement in health or aspires after material perfection is no yogi according to Bhagavad Gita. Nor does cessation of material existence entail one's entering into the void, which is only a myth. There is no void anywhere within the creation of the Lord. Rather, the cessation of material existence enables one to enter into the spiritual sky, the abode of the Lord. The abode of the Lord is also clearly described in the Bhagavad Gita as that place where there is no need of sun, moon, or electricity. The abode of the Lord is also clearly described in the Bhagavad Gita as that place where there is no need of sun, moon, or electricity. The abode of the Lord is also clearly described in the Bhagavad Gita as that place where there is no need of sun, moon, or electricity. All the planets in the spiritual kingdom are self-illuminated, like the sun in the material sky. The kingdom of God is everywhere, but the spiritual sky and the planets thereof are called Param Dhamma, or superior abodes. A consummate yogi, who is perfect in understanding Lord Krishna, as is clearly stated herein by the Lord himself, Mat Chittaha Mat Para Mat Stanam, can attain real peace and can ultimately reach his supreme abode, Krishna Loka, known as Goloka Vrindavan. In the Brahma Samhita 537, it is clearly stated, Goloka eva nivisat yakali latma bhutaha. The Lord, although residing always in his abode called Goloka, is the all-pervading Brahman and the localized Paramatma, as well by dint of his superior spiritual energies. No one can reach the spiritual sky, Vaikuntha, or enter into the Lord's eternal abode, Goloka Vrindavan, without the proper understanding of Krishna and his planetary expansion, Vishnu. Therefore, a person working in Krishna consciousness is a perfect yogi, because his mind is always absorbed in Krishna's activities. Savai Mana Krishna Padaravindayo. In the Vedas also, Svetasvatara Upanishad 3.8, we learn, Tam eva vidita veti mrityum eti. One can overcome the path of birth and death only by understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. In other words, perfection of the yoga system is the attainment of freedom from material existence, and not some magical jugglery or gymnastic feats to befool innocent people. So it's described in the Bhagavad Gita about the spiritual kingdom is itself illuminated. Also in also in chapter 15, text 1, it's mentioned, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Urdva Mulam Adasakam Asvatam Prahur Avyayam Chandam Si Yasya Parnani Yastam Veda Sa Vedavit. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, it is said that there is an imperishable banyan tree that has its roots upward and its branches down, and whose leaves are the Vedic hymns. One who knows this tree is a knower of the Vedas. So this tree is described as it's like a banyan tree on the side of a volume of water, and if one can see the reflection of this tree, this is what described as material existence. That this reflection in the volume of water, with its roots, we see it from its roots upside down. That this is considered the material world. That is only the reflection of the original. So therefore, we can clearly have some idea that the spiritual world is not too different from this world, but it's superior. It's much more in how life should be. And also by the nature of the banyan tree is that it's like a network of all these different twigs and leaves which grow. If one saw it, looks like a very complicated network of trees and twigs, and that also reflects in terms of the material existence and the different entanglements of the material world. So it's mentioned in terms of our mind and in terms of everything that we have accumulated during our lifetime. that when the time comes to actually pass out of this material world, the balance of everything that we have retained during the lifetime will come to manifest. So it's like data analysis, that in a way to describe it is that everything that we actually we do is taken into account. And so if we've actually spent the majority of our time and cultivating actual spiritual becoming absorbed in spiritual life, then naturally at the time of death, when it's time to depart this material world, that we'll be able to actually think of Krishna rather than being hijacked by anarthas and as a result of having focused our time elsewhere. So in terms of this reason, it's mentioned in chapter 9, text 25. Yanti deva vrata devan pitar yanti pitar vrataha bhutani yanti bhujatya yanti madhyajino pimam. Those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings. Those who worship ancestors go to the ancestors, and those who worship me will live with me. And also in chapter 7, text 23, Antavat tufalam tesam tad bhavat yalpa medasam devam deva yajo yanti mad bhakta yanti mamapi. Men of small intelligence worship the demigods, and their fruits are limited and temporary. Those who worship the demigods go to the planets of the demigods, but my devotees ultimately reach my supreme planet. So therefore, in terms of this, in this verse 6:15, so we can see that it's, as it mentions, his mind regulated attains to the kingdom of God, or the abode of Krishna. So if one is actually, in terms of being this mystic transcendentalist, that if one is a devotee of Krishna, then that's the only way they're going to go to the Krishna loka. It's not obtainable without bhakti. So in terms of, it mentions that all this world, it is the kingdom of God. So everything is the kingdom of God, but then there's divisions. So because it's all God's energy. So I'm just going to read a verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam. This is Canto 1, Chapter 19, text 23. Samagataha sarvata eva sarve Veda yanta murti darastri priste Nahanta namurtrad cha kaschanarta Ritte paranu graham atmashilam. There are three planetary systems, namely the lower worlds, the intermediate worlds, and the upper worlds. The human beings on earth are situated at the beginning of the intermediate worlds, but living beings like Brahma and his contemporaries live in the upper worlds, of which the topmost is Satyaloka. In Satyaloka, the inhabitants are fully cognizant of Vedic wisdom, and thus the mystic cloud of material energy is cleared. So there's three different, and what I read there was actually from the purport of that verse rather than the literal translation. So Urdhva-loka, which is described as the upper world, and then also it's described as the celestial world, the realms of gods or heavens, the Svargalokas, the heavenly planets, and then Madhyaloka, the middle planetary system, which is described as the world of mortals, the realms of the humans, animals and plants. And then there's Andaloka. The Andaloka, Adoloka is the lower world, the subterranean heavens, Bila Swarga, the realms of beings other than humans like Daityas, Danavas and Nagas. And Nagas are described as serpent-type beings, actually. So that in terms of the material creation has these lower, middle, and upper planetary systems, and then beyond those is the spiritual world, which is the abode of the Vaikunthas. So this is from the Srimad Bhagavatam 5:20-37. By the supreme will of Krishna, the mountain known as Loka Loka has been installed at the outer border of the three worlds, Burloka, Bhuvarloka and Svarvaloka, to control the rays of the sun throughout the universe. All the luminaries from the sun up to Dhruvaloka distribute their rays throughout the three worlds, but only within the boundary formed by this mountain. Because it is extremely high, extending even higher than Dhruvaloka, it blocks the rays of the luminaries, which therefore can never extend beyond it. So when we speak of Lokatraya, we refer to the three primary planetary systems, Bhu, Bhuva and Sva, into which the universe is divided. Surrounding these planetary systems are the 8 directions, namely east, west, north, south, northeast, southeast, northwest and southwest. Loka Loka mountain has been established as the outer boundary of all the lokas to distribute the rays of the sun and other luminaries equally throughout the universe. This vivid description of how the rays of the sun are distributed throughout the different planetary systems of the universe is very scientific. Sukadeva Goswami described these universal affairs to Maharaj Parikshit as he had heard about them from his predecessor. He explained these facts 5,000 years ago, but the knowledge existed long, long before, because Sukadeva Goswami received it through disciplic succession. Because this knowledge is accepted through the disciplic succession, it is perfect. The history of modern scientific knowledge, on the contrary, does not go back more than a few hundred years. Therefore, even if modern scientists do not accept other factual presentations of Srimad Bhagavatam, how can they deny the perfect astronomical calculations that existed long before they could imagine such things? There is so much information to gather from Srimad Bhagavatam. Modern scientists, however, have no information of other planetary systems, and indeed are hardly conversant with the planet on which they are living. So that's the thing, is that because it came from the Parampara and Sukadeva Goswami, that we can have faith in this, but it's not something that modern science can ever actually understand in terms of how this world and how the greater existence of this world is divided. But places beyond this earthly planet, they aren't so fruitful in terms of devotional service, that this middle planetary system is described as being the it's where everyone wants to be in terms of how they can actually make very quickly advance in devotional service, and ultimately to transcend the material creation, which consists of the three planetary systems of the upper planets, the middle ones, and the lower ones. So those in the Earth planet have a very rare opportunity. As I remember a verse which it spoke about even Brahmaloka, that those who are in Brahmaloka, just if you're even for one instant being on planet Earth, they can make untold more spiritual progress than they can in Brahmaloka. So it's a very rare situation, which is why in Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan movement that it's described as different beings are happy, very happy to actually, they're just happy to come to the material world and to perform devotional service for Lord Chaitanya. I wonder if there's any questions. Yeah. Okay. So I'm just going to actually describe about in terms of the universal form of the Lord. So all these planets are all part of the Lord in His universal form, which is mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, which is the only form of the Lord which isn't permanent. So this is described in the Srimad Bhagavatam 2.1.26. Persons who have realized it have studied that the planets known as Patala constitute the bottoms of the feet of the universal Lord, and the heels and toes are the Rasatala planets. The ankles are the Mahatala planets, and his shanks constitute the Tatala planets. And shanks means from the knee down. So these are the lower planetary systems. And also from the Srimad Bhagavatam 2.5.40-41. My dear son Narada, know from me that there are 7 lower planetary systems out of the total 14. The first planetary system, known as Atala, is situated at the waist. The second Vitala is situated on the thighs. The third Sutala on the knees. The fourth Talatala on the shanks. The fifth Mahatala on the ankles. The sixth Rasatala on the upper portion of the feet, and the seventh Patala on the soles of the feet. Thus the Virat form of the Lord is full of all planetary systems. So this is what Arjuna could see. He could see everything in the universal form of the Lord throughout all these different planets, and he could see that in this universal form was like a mouth, and everything was going into this mouth, and this was described as time. So time is the great destroyer, is called, as this material existence will ultimately be come unmanifest. So just before we finish, I wonder if there's any questions. No? Okay. Bhagavad Gita ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, all assembled devotees ki. Jai. Hare Krishna.
the verse you read about going back to your ancestors.
Oh yes, yeah.
What scripture? This?
That's from the Bhagavad Gita. I can just find it. Yeah, it's a very common verse that's in the Bhakti Shastri you wrote. Obviously, yeah, I can have a look now and tell you. Yeah. So it's